on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Bella Rita, Quintus McDonald, I do think that worked. Welcome to the Quintus McDonald Heart of Influence. Bella, thank you for rocking this thing and kicking us off. We're exploring the superpower of integrous influence, Bella. And Bella, please, who's here with us?
Sean, we have some extraordinary people here today for Quintus McDonald's Community Heroes and Actualizers Heart of Influence. And first up from Oakland, California, 7-year NFL veteran, entrepreneur, and founder of the Pro Athletes Business Group, events connecting retired players to a life after sports, using his own painful experience to create a new and better life for each attendee, their families, and all that they can do to impact going forward. Also, a recruiter helping incarcerated men and women from 17 to 72 years old find employment and build new lives afterwards to never have to go back there again. Let's welcome to the show, Anthony Simmons.
Thank you.
Anthony, thank you for being here today on Quintus McDonald's Heart of Influence. Appreciate you enormously, sir. And yes, from that place. Yeah, we kicked this thing off with a fun fact. Plato, the Greek philosopher, said, play a game with me, Anthony, for a year. Well, play a game with you for an hour, and we'll learn more about each other if we speak for a year. And so, Anthony, please, what's a fun fact headline? Could be an adventurous moment, proud moment, surprising moment, but anything that would make us say, Anthony, no way.
Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
That's you, my friend. You're fun fact.
I
just this in the green room.
Yeah, I just thought you guys were still talking. Okay, a fun fact for me is an opportunity to build team for my business when I bring in athletes to give them opportunities to invest, franchise, to support them and their families. That's a fun fact about me, is bringing team together and bringing everybody in a environment that they're not used to being in.
Awesome. Well, Anthony, this is an environment that people are not used to being in, so you should be right at home in it. So thank you very much for being here, Anthony. And we're about to do the thing, sir. Are you ready, Anthony?
I am ready.
Anthony is ready, Bella. Anthony's ready. Come on, Bella.
Anthony is ready. Next up from Queens Creek, Arizona, 7-year veteran, 7 years in federal and state prison and county jails, dropped out after 2 years at a university after writing an entire essay using AI, leading him into marketing. working towards 2040 political office campaigns, uncovering the criminals and American heroes in the space, criminals in sheep's clothing, looking to free the voiceless in post-World War III era, 2 million plus children condemned through mass incarceration and monetization and oppression. Let's welcome to the show, Ty Shane.
It's Ty, Bella? Bell?
Yes, Ty.
Yeah, Ty.
Oh, hey, Ty. Thank you so much for that, Ty. And please, Ty, what is your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I have lived in over 7 states.
Whoa. And which is your favorite state to live in, Ty?
Well, I'm just gonna have to answer that one. And I currently live in Cancun, and so I'm gonna have to go Cancun, Mexico.
Amazing. Cancun for statehood. Let's hear it for Ty.
Yes.
Bella Rita Cancun is coming up as a state. We make magic happen on Quintus Community Leaders and
Yes,
Actualized Heart of
indeed.
Influence. We're making Cancun a state, Bella. Come on.
Making Cancun a state and Texas a country.
That's
Speaking
it.
of, next up from Dallas, Texas, granddaughter of a grandmother of Juneteenth, Dr. Opal Lee, believes Juneteenth as a national holiday will help bridge the racial divide in our historic past, working to make Opal's Walk of Freedom a national staple for tracking national progress since bill signing in 2021. Let's welcome to the show, Dion Sims.
Hello, everybody. Hello, and thank you guys for having me on the show today.
Thank you, Dion, for being here. Yeah,
I'm actually from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh.
People try and say that Fort Worth and Dallas are just the same little metroplex, but it's not. So anyway.
I am present to it. Fort Worth is in the house. And please, Dion, your fun fact.
In the last 3 years, I have been to the White House 5 times.
Whoa.
Whoa. And what is the reason you keep going to the White House?
They keep me asking my grandmother to come, right? And so I have to travel with her, of course.
Wow.
Together, we travel to educate the country and to support Juneteenth as a national holiday. And since it's been made a holiday in 2021, in June 2021, we've been back there for various reasons 5 times. And
Wow.
The 6th time we went on our own was when President Obama was inaugurated, and we got to visit the house during the his first administration.
Wow. Well, thank you, Dion. That is extraordinary. We appreciate you being here today and for sharing that wonderful fun fact. Bella Rita wants to move into the White House. I keep telling her we have to win an election first, but that's a story for a different day. So Dion, thank you for being here and for everything that you stand for and represent and your family. Thank you. Bella Rita, we're going.
I would love to go to the White House. Next up, author, speaker, and media contributor titled America's Life Strategist, inspiring millions to become physically, mentally, and spiritually fit. A janitor, after his athletic career was cut short by a near-fatal car accident, then became the youngest senior VP in Manhattan real estate, purchased the gym featured in the movie Pumping Iron, and today is a peak performance expert for celebrities, athletes, and business people alike. Let's welcome to the show, John Raleigh.
Thank you. Thank you for being here on Quintus McDonald's Community Leaders and Actualizers Heart of Influence. Congratulations on all of your impact. And please, what is your fun fact?
My fun fact was at 19 years old, I was a collegiate athlete, got crushed in a car accident, lost my nose, including a bunch of other issues, was in a walk-up for quite a long time. But less than 8 years later, I was the youngest senior vice president in Manhattan history with no college degree.
Wow. That's extraordinary. Well, thank you for all the impact. And you at one point bought the Pumping Iron gym?
Yeah, I owned the gym where Pumping Iron was filmed, yeah.
That is super cool. Well, John, thanks for being here today. And are you ready to pump some iron today, John?
I'm ready.
Let's
Appreciate
go,
you having me
Bella.
on.
Yeah, John's ready to start pumping. Let's go.
John's ready to start pumping. Next up from New Albany, Indiana, spent his teenage years creating and performing rock dramas for youth in the most impoverished areas. Traveled with well-known evangelists at 15 as part of his deliverance ministry, recommitting his life to the Lord in his early 40s, being driven in his ministry, creating feature films to help eradicate hunger and empower and equip youth in the Middle East and Africa. Let's welcome to the show, Chris Robinson.
Chris, thank you for being on the Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
My fun fact is, as a youth, I saw Star Wars 21 times in the theater and said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make movies. And it's starting to happen. So,
well, brother, congratulations on that. May the force be with you. Let's build the Death Star. Let's figure out the dynamics between Princess Leia, Han Solo, and C-3PO, and R2-D2, Darth Vader, and all the things. Which is your favorite Star Wars movie now, by the way, Chris?
I still have to go back to, Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. All right. Yeah. Lando Calrissian, you got to watch out for him, Bella. That dude.
You got to watch out for him.
So come on back. Chris, thank you so much. Bella Verita, come on.
Next up, the man, the myth, the legend that brought all of these extraordinary people together from Raleigh, North Carolina, a member of the 86 undefeated national champion Nittany Lions of Penn State University, a man of God, serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, started a job development program for returning citizens, and founded a nonprofit entity with the express intent of ending school-to-prison pipeline. One of 4 owners of a wellness brand devoted to putting an end to the silent suffering of more than 600,000 women having hysterectomies annually in the U.S. alone. Over the last 2 years, has curated and co-hosted over 30 episodes of this show, bringing together leaders, communities, business developers, sports, and impact. Let's welcome to his show, producer Quintus McDonald.
Quintus, thank you for all of your impact, your heart, your leadership, your mastery, sir. And please, Quintus, what is your fun fact on your Heart of Influence?
Thanks, Sean. Thank you, Bella, for all of that. Fun fact. The Big Ten is going to crush the SEC. And that's just for Anthony Simmons, who is an SEC person. So I had to throw a jab there. We're about to take over the national championship. That's what it is. The Big Ten.
Let's go. The road to the national championship. You heard it here first. Bella Verita runs for the Big Ten from this point. Anthony may have something to say about that. We'll see. Alabama, Crimson Tide. We got Georgia, we got LSU, we got Penn State, of course, Ohio State, Michigan, a lot of dynamics ready to go. Is that what I'm hearing, Quintus?
Indeed, and Anthony's Tennessee Volunteers have been making noise here recently too. Unmute, brother. I know you got something to say.
Yeah, they've been making a lot of noise, and this season is going to be a little different.
All right, let's go. Tennessee Volunteer in the house. Quintus, shall we do the things?
Let's do the things. Star Wars like.
What's Star Wars like? I'm going to introduce this woman. She's as feisty as Princess Leia. She quips at me and beats me up like Leia beat up Han. And she started her career in her power and her heart, because, of course, Princess Leia saved the galaxy and the universe, as an 8-year-old selling crafts on her parents' front lawn. She then progressed to being a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing. By the age of 24, 25, and then 26, like Michael Jordan, she was three-peating, but not in basketball, but instead as being the #1 business broker in the entire state of Nevada. She was the first woman, in fact, ever to do it. And at 24 years old, she was the youngest person, woman or male, ever to do it whatsoever. She began to train Fortune 500 companies and entrepreneurs. In fact, in 2019, every sales team, I mean every single one, doubled their sales that this woman, Bella Verita, worked with. She's a skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer, hurricanes, blizzards, shark-infested waters, all the things. Published author and philanthropist, raising millions of dollars with the Unblinded team. And in 2023, publicly, courageously battled and defeated cancer, inspiring many, tons of humans. And finally, this show is her more than 800th episode. Let's welcome to the Heart of Influence the woman that put the heart into it, Bella Verita. Bella Verita, welcome to the Heart of Influence. Uh-oh, the recording has stopped, but Bella, you're not. Come on, Bella. Recording's in progress. What's your fun?
All kinds of things happening with the recording. My fun fact actually is, since we have so many people in ministerial studies and outcomes here, is in high school, I sold drugs. And I am currently in ministerial school. So I have gone from drug dealer to God dealer in my life, where I have a 4.0 in ministerial school and will be baptized in a couple weeks and on my way to becoming a pastor. That's my fun fact.
That's a super cool fun fact, though. We are very proud that you went from dime bags to a stairway to heaven. So, so Bella, let's go.
Let's do the things. But let me first introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He is only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that was blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. The state of New Jersey has called him the most influential attorney in the state of New Jersey. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around on stages, doing cool things, he's an incredible philanthropist that has raised nearly $10 million for charities in the last 2 years. And he did, in fact, teach me how to surf, ski, and scuba dive. Let's welcome to the show my co-host, Sean Callagy.
Thank you, Bella Verita. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Bella, Quintus, everybody. It's an honor and privilege to be rocking the Heart of Influence today together. And yes, I often go with that. I'm a blind man that has taught sighted people to ski, surf, and scuba dive. As my fun fact, I often tell the story of getting my board bitten by a shark 9 months ago while I was on it surfing. But for today, Bella Verita, I'm going to go with this fun fact. The 14th game of my college baseball career, 15th and 16th, was played at the University of Tennessee as a freshman against the Tennessee Volunteers in 1989. So that's my fun fact. Playing the SEC powerhouse Tennessee Volunteers. First series we played against was Vanderbilt, who's won the College World Series a number of times now. And I was playing for the Columbia Lions. So that is my fun fact of today, Bella Verita.
That is a super fun fact, Sean. And are you ready to do the things?
I am ready. Who's going first, Bella?
Let's kick it off with Mr. Anthony Simmons.
Anthony.
All right.
All right. This is what we're exploring. Like, how do you cause yes, but not pitching, hooking, closing? Yuck. Sophisticated, heart center, integrous people, they don't want to be closed. They want to have their listening open, their heart touched, and they want to move forward to an agreement. What does that look like, though? So Bella's going to be, to illustrate this, Anthony, anybody you want her to be. Heck, she could be a client. She could be somebody that can give some money charitably or participate in something. She could be somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey or some, superstar coach, whatever it would be that you'd be going from hello to yes with. It's a 3-minute conversation. And Anthony, it could simply be a yes to a longer conversation. It doesn't have to be like a sale or something like that. So Anthony, please, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
A franchise company.
All right. And any kind of franchise in particular?
Let's say Chick-fil-A.
Oh, all right. So Rita, you are the chick in Chick-fil-A. Let's go.
I am the chicken Chick-fil-A. Hello, this is Chick Bella.
Hi, Chick. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Anthony. How about yourself?
I'm great. Great.
What can I do for you today?
So I was calling you because I'm interested in having you guys to be a franchisee at our Pro Athlete Business Group organization that we have. And we have in our organization where we empower and educate NFL boxers, pro athletes in any realm. So WNBA, NBA, NFL, boxers, and so forth and so on. We're dealing with professional athletes and giving them opportunities and to invest in life after the game in sports. And the reason for that is because we have over the first 3 years of NFL ball players, which we started with, go broke 3 years after they retire. So we want to give them opportunities to invest into intangible opportunities for them and their families for life after the game. And we know it's been difficult over the years with them having their professional agents and their financial advisors and stuff, given, to give them something to invest in. So we're inviting franchise companies to come in and give them opportunities to talk about their business to our attendees and give them opportunities in life after the game.
Okay, so you are looking for, someone from our company to come and speak to your athletes about business. Am I understanding that correctly?
Correctly, yes.
Okay, and then anything else that you need from us? You just want us to come in and speak?
Well, I'd like for you to come with information, giving them something they can leave with, something they could think about on investing, or for nothing's going to happen that day, but it's their follow through and follow up on what's going to happen, what they decide to do, invest in, or anything. Because we're going to have over 30 different franchisees and companies there to give them opportunities for them and their families for life after the game.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that sounds extraordinary. And I think that there is, I don't see why we wouldn't do that.
So the reason why we reached out to Chick-fil-A is because Chick-fil-A is a growing Christian-based opportunity for them. And they're looking for something that's, one thing they don't understand is long-term investment. So we look for something that's like short-term, something that's tangible that they can understand and it'd be easy for them to get into as a family, not just as an individual, but I like it to be done as a family.
Well, Anthony, I definitely am interested in speaking more about this. I got to run at the moment, but let's definitely schedule a longer conversation and see where we can go from here.
That sounds great. So we are going to be having an opportunity where we'll be having a trade show that's going to be coming up. We do 2 a year, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast.
Hey, Anthony, unfortunately, I got to run at the moment. However, let's talk tomorrow and we'll definitely talk about this more.
Great. Do I have your phone number, email, and so forth and so on?
You just called me, didn't you?
I did. Well, make sure that you have mine. Thank you.
Anthony, you got it. Great job, Anthony. Chick of Chick-fil-A, excellent job. Who's going next?
Next up, we got Ty Shane.
Ty, who would you like Bella to be?
Let's go with the owner of a multi-7-figure marketing agency.
Bella, you're the boss lady. Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella. Sorry to catch you unawares. Man, see, I don't know how to do this. Oh no, this is terrible.
Why are you freaking out? What do you called me? What do you need, my friend?
I don't know what to say. Man.
So Anthony, if we met at the store, just talk to me as if you're someone we met. You don't need to make it harder than it really is.
Oh no, freezing.
What is it that you're looking for?
Oh man, I just froze up.
What is it that you do, Ty?
Crap. I've never cold called before, so this is like a cold call. I don't know where to start.
Take a deep breath.
Pause for a second. Team, pause
Yeah.
the clock, please, and reset. So, Ty, you
We're
meet
gonna
people.
help you.
Do you network? Do you talk to people all the time? So just talk to me about what it is that you do and what you're offering.
Okay. I'll just do it like this. I'm just gonna do it as if you're Bella and I found you on LinkedIn. Is that okay?
Yes, Bella is on LinkedIn.
Okay. Um hey Bella, it was the conversation that we had the other day on LinkedIn was absolutely fabulous. And so I wanted to call and reach out to you to discuss a little bit more about your guys' current sales processes and systems.
All right. Yeah, I do remember. Thank you so much for reaching out. I appreciate it.
So I noticed on your tech stack that you guys are using HubSpot, but you're not currently using any, cold outreach, data aggregation based softwares. And
Yep.
so I was just, wondering if maybe you would be willing to share some of your current processes over a future conversation to maybe identify some new cutting edge, tech strategies that might, help you close more sales. This is
Yeah,
terrible.
so Ty, like I am, I'm a little bit familiar with different, marketing platforms, and I talk to different marketing people. What would you say your specialty in marketing is? I've read a little about you, online. I know that you have, self-taught. And so what is it that you think like your expertise is, and how are you thinking you can help us?
So using in the era of AI, the SDR manual processes can be automated at scale. And along with, the hyper targeting for prospecting for, sales professionals is the ability to couple that with, at scale outreach.
Okay.
And, all the work of researching prospects, lead scoring, identifying, the right time, right place instead of, wasting time and money and resources on reaching out to, generalized and generic leads. Thought that there might be a potential opportunity for you to win more favor in the sales world with some new, technology.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing, Shane, is you have if I'm hearing you correctly, you have the ability to automate some of my sales process so that I can reach more people in less time. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and
Okay.
use data from your previous sales successes to concentrate and to concentrate those efforts as well.
That
Awesome.
sounds super interesting, Shane. And I mean, I definitely would like to have a longer conversation about that. So let's set that up.
Okay. I'll have my assistant schedule a time with your team.
There you go. See, Ty, you did a phenomenal job. No reason to be so embarrassed and so nervous.
Great,
Absolutely great. Yeah, you did a great job.
That was tough. She beats me up all the time. So great job, Ty. Great job, Anthony. Bella Verita, you're a heart-centered, tough person. You're gonna beat me up later. Mine's coming, Ty and Anthony. Bella, the feedbackers.
Yes. So feedbackers, otherwise known as judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. And so it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for Anthony and Ty, something that they did great, something that they do to improve, and then like a little rating system from like root canal to private jet. So, would you rather go have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Ty or Anthony? Maybe you would invite them to a cup of coffee to have a little bit longer of a conversation to learn more about them. Or maybe you might invite them to Capitol Grill, where you'd have like a seafood tower and a nice juicy steak, unless you're a vegan, maybe you're having salad and French fries. And but you're not gonna skip dessert and coffee because you want to have the longest conversation with them as possible. And then Or if you even want a longer conversation because you love them so much, you're going to rent a private jet. Of course, stop and pick up Quintus McDonald and fly anywhere in the world to have a longer meeting with Anthony or Ty. So let's kick this off with Dion. And Dion, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Anthony first?
I liked his in his voice, his enthusiasm about his program, and inviting you. I think that he didn't quite hear you say, "I've got to run," or maybe he tried to get that last little bit back in there. But I liked his the fact that he knew his product so well, he knew his program so well that he could talk from his heart, and it wasn't pulling teeth.
Mm.
And would it be like a cup of coffee, a seafood tower, a private
He's
jet?
always taking my lines.
What's coming next?
So I would, like a time at, a seafood tower at Capitol Grill to talk to Anthony more
right.
about his program.
And is it Dion or Deanne?
Dion.
Dion. Okay, awesome. Dion, thank you so much for that. Seafood Tower, Capitol Grill coming up for Dion, Belvrita. Come on, let's go.
Dion, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Ty?
So for Ty, I think that you just need to relax and because what's inside of you will come out. And so being put on the spot, it was only because you were asked to do something versus it being, a natural conversation that you had. So when you were freezing up, I like the fact that Bella said, let's just reset and just, tell me about what you're doing. And so at that, you became more comfortable. And so, elevator pitches all the time happen at the spur of the moment. So just relax, you know your stuff, and don't get tripped up by, being put on the spot.
And so Dion, is it like a cup of coffee? Are we getting the seafood tower? Are we getting on the private jet with Ty?
I'm gonna do a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee with Ty.
Cup of coffee. And are you like a sweet cream, no sweet cream gal?
I am a sweet cream. Matter of fact, it's more sweet and cream than coffee when I go to sleep.
More sweet cream and coffee. Thank you, Dion. Thank you, Sean, for letting me have the stage. And John, how about your 30 seconds of feedback? And we'll go with Ty first.
Well, Ty, you can't use AI when you're making cold calls. You just weren't ready. What you need to do is you just need to figure out what the goal of the phone call is, and then get to the point, get their answer, and get off. I'd get on a private jet with you because I think you're an interesting guy, and I like to learn more about you.
Cool. And where would the private jet go, John?
I don't know. He'd have to pick me up in his because I don't have one. He'd bring me wherever he wants.
Ty,
I would find Hawaii.
Ty, where you find a jet to?
Hawaii would be nice.
Let's go.
Dubai. We're going to Dubai.
All right. We're going to Dubai via Hawaii. Let's go. And John, please. Rebel.
And John, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Anthony?
Anthony, I thought you did great. You know what you're talking about. You just got caught, you got caught off guard, and you just went on a little bit too long. That was all. But I thought you did a great job. And same thing with Ty. Just figure out the purpose of the call. And you know this. Figure out the purpose of the call, get to the point, and get what you want out of it.
All right. Thank you, John. And
I've done a lot of cold calling over the years.
Capitol Grill, Seafood Tower, private jet. What do you got, John?
I'd go on a private jet with him too. I like to hang out with him. I know a lot of NFL guys, so I bet we've got a bunch of friends. In fact, I think I may have met you at the Walter Camp Association. Did you ever go to that? Okay, because somebody looked like you. Anyway, okay.
All right, thank you, John.
We all look alike.
No, that wasn't my point. No, Ken Huff, Mark May, and I'm drawing a blank on the other guy. I went there with them a few times.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you for that, John. And let's go, last but not least, Quintus McDonald. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Anthony?
All right. I love the energy, your upbeat, the actual pace, the pause in the very beginning created some fun energy. I thought that was really done well. You did that well. I would say ask more questions. Ask some questions about Chick-fil-A and what it is they like to do, so that now you have this big presentation, because you're about to hand them professional athletes, people with identity. You're going to give them these identifying individuals that they can put their brand behind. So ask some questions. And certainly, I'm not big on the seafood, but I'll eat a big old plate of French fries. We can do the grilling. There's some French fries and gravy.
Did you have a steak, Quintus?
I will certainly get a steak. I'm trying to train my mind. Self-mastery. I'm over here to self-mastery. Beach once a month. All right.
You got that, Quintus. All right, Quintus, listen, you know what time it is.
Well, hold on 1 second, John. Quintus, your 30 seconds of feedback for Ty.
For Ty. Yeah, stop looking at the clock, little brother. You started looking at the clock immediately and scared yourself to death. We went over this. What we did over the weekend was perfect. You did a fantastic job. I'm sitting here watching you look at the clock, and I started freezing up and hyperventilating. So yeah, just take your time. You know your product. Ask questions so that you can then present yourself as the hero for that company. Period, point blank.
And so Quintus, is it the coffee, Capital Grill, Jack?
No coffee for Ty.
No coffee for Ty.
Complete decaf. We're going to the juice spot. No coffee, no caffeine. Straight to the juice spot.
Juice and Bella Rita. So here we go. Quintus, you know what time it is. Bella's going to try to give me a hard time. And here we go. Bella.
Yeah, so Quintus and everyone, this is the time in the show that I get to put my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because I always cook them up as the show's been going on. That's what I've been working on behind the scenes here. And so Quintus, I have a couple scenarios. You get to choose what scenario that we go with. Sean knows nothing about any of them. You can change anything about the scenarios, or you can scratch them and come up with something much harder on your own. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
Absolutely.
All right. So option number one is I thought Sean could role play Anthony and going from Hello to Yes with Tom Brady to join his business athletes group, because since Brady is like newly retired, and so joining his group. So I thought that could be option number one. Option number two is I also thought Sean could role play Anthony going from role play Ty going from Hello to Yes with Jeff Bezos in helping him with his marketing, because Jeff might know a thing or two, but if you're the expert, you can disrupt that and become the expert. So that is option number two. And then option number three I have for you, Quintus, is somebody could role play Luke going from Hello to Yes with Vader to convince him to come to the light side so they can rule the galaxy in the light. So those are the three options that I have for you today, Quintus. Any of those tickle your fancy, or would you like to come up with something much, much harder?
They all tickle my fancy. I love co-creating with you, Bella, because we can put June 16th and Juneteenth as the light side that we're bringing to this country, since it is a national holiday, and have Sean present that to John Rowley on the dark side to bring John into the marvelous light of Juneteenth.
Okay, and who is John? Is John playing himself, Quintus, or somebody else?
No, so who is it? Darth Vader? We're going to use. We're using the same characters, just a different. Yes.
Different way. All right. Let's go. Is Lord Vader available?
Now,
John, Quintus volunteered you. Yes.
Okay.
I volunteered.
I've never watched Star Wars. In fact, the night that I had my car accident, that's the movie I was at. So yeah, he's available, I guess.
Yes. So hey, Lord Vader, Luke Skywalker here. I know we said a 3-minute conversation for today is still a good time for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So listen, first of all, I'm very grateful for the conversation. And I'm also clear that we shared with all the folks in the Empire the purpose of this call being about Juneteenth. And I'm very grateful that you've accepted the call, a little surprised. But if I may, what prompted you, Lord Vader, to accept this phone call in the first place?
Well, why were you surprised?
I'm surprised because my understanding is that your desire to rule the galaxy is based upon oppression, based upon control. And Juneteenth is an inclusive, open dynamic, and that is not seemingly consistent with the way the Empire has ruled the galaxy, nor how you've
Oh, okay.
approached it. Yeah. So if I'm confused about that, my apologies, but sounds like you're confused and I'm confused, which is really exciting. So
Well,
thank you for that.
you know what? There's a lot of pain in this world. I'm glad I took this phone call for this very reason, because I think we need to put a stop to oppression in every area. And if I can be of help in that area at all, I'd love to. I don't know how I can be, but I'd love to.
Oh, well, listen,
Just as
appreciate.
a just as a sidebar,
Yeah.
I go to a church that is all we're in Star Wars, so I don't even know what to say. I go to an all black church. I'm the only white guy there. So I do my part to try to help, but honestly, I receive more than I give. So anyway, back
Yeah.
to the call.
Yeah, no, amazing. So, thank you for that, Lord Vader. And I didn't even know your person of belief. So that's extraordinary. So what ultimately, I'm hearing inclusion, I'm hearing light. This is outstanding. But what's the ultimate mission? So in your leadership, Lord Vader, what do you ultimately want to see for people?
Set all the captives free. Too many
Awesome.
people are caught up in oppression, whether it's because of the color of their skin or they come from a different galaxy. Now that we're talking Star Wars, I just think it's time for people to just embrace love.
Well, appreciate that. So from that place of desiring love, inclusion, freedom, can I share a couple of things, Lord Vader, that may or may not resonate with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as you know, I am a Jedi. I stand present to the Force and its power to unite, its power to free, its power to create and cause equity and justice and love, and to protect. So from that place, one of the things that we've been speaking about recently with one of my friends, Quintus McDonald, has been how we can embrace not just the surface level dynamics of love, inclusion. That's what the hippies wanted to do in 1967, hate Ashbury. And the idea was wonderful. But 4 days later, it devolved into criminality, filth, and they all went home to their mamas and dadas and whined and complained about the world and the they because they had no how to. So the how to dynamic that we're talking about here, Lord Vader, is how can we honor and celebrate the truth and reality of the galaxy and its history of oppression and challenge? And how can we honor institutional change? Institutional change, which, as Dr. Martin Luther King shared, that takes time. But in the interim, how can we support and cause people to have a pathway, a how to create statistical anomalies? In our final 30 seconds or so, Oprah Winfrey, that woman was dealt a number of cards that would statistically be against her. First of all, she's Black in a country and nation of historic racism. She's a woman in a nation that has historic gender oppression. She had teen pregnancy, which creates a massively disproportionate percentage of economic challenge and oppression. And she was abused, which takes that teen pregnancy statistic and puts an exponent on it for horrific likelihood of creating financial freedom. Yet, Oprah Winfrey, if she was as much taller than the average American as she is wealthier, she would be, Lord Vader, 25,000 times their height, which would mean that a commercial airliner flying across the country would be bumping into Oprah Winfrey's kneecap. Now, is it luck? Is it possibility? Work hard? No, it's something, as Einstein said, to make it as simple as possible, but that's too simple. So what this idea of Quintus is about in honoring Juneteenth is bringing education and reality to people, uniting people, and creating a how-to solution. Because in final, I have a dear friend, Sean Callaghy, who's also a friend of Quintus's. He's blind. And 75% of people like Sean Callaghy are unemployed. Imagine that, Lord Vader. 75% of blind people are unemployed. And that dude is a statistical anomaly. He's not Oprah, but he's a profound statistical anomaly when obviously there's an institutional problem of 75% of blind people are unemployed. So the conversation we like to have is, how do we bring Quintus McDonald, a bunch of his friends, you, Lord Vader, the people running the Empire, the Jedi Council, unblinded folks like Sean Callaghy, Bella Verita, bring all of us together to use this extraordinary moment to not only educate, certainly not only inspire, but to give people how-to solutions to achieve not only the American dream, but the dreams possible for the galaxy. So, Lord Vader, how would it resonate with you or not for us to have a 30-minute conversation, or maybe even to meet you on the Death Star for a weekend and plan this all out? Lord Vader, what say you?
I think a weekend, it would definitely take more than 30 seconds to figure it out. But in this day and age of social media and people being pitted against each other, I think we need to get out of our cars and give somebody a hug. I think we need to be able to embrace other people. Go to areas that maybe you wouldn't go. Go to another galaxy far, far away and meet other people. And, I don't know. This is beyond 30 seconds for me because it is a very deep and much needed conversation. So I think I'd need a weekend with you.
Let's go. We'll pick you up in the Millennium Falcon. Princess Leia and Han Solo are on the way with Sean Callaghy and Bella Verita and
Good.
Quintus.
Because this is actually something I am passionate about.
Well, thank you, Lord Vader, and beautiful job. Thank you. We're coming back in a second, John.
Thank you.
Out of roll. Dion, how'd I do in a very weird conversation about profound issues of taking Juneteenth and Star Wars and unity and possibility? Dion, how'd I do?
You did phenomenal. And I was listening wholeheartedly because you resonated so many of the things that I think that Juneteenth can be. And I was trying to see how I could incorporate even this analogy of Star Wars and Juneteenth. And for Darth Vader to even be open to the conversation. Kind of showed that Mr. Rowley hadn't really got the chance to see Star Wars, but I love the fact that that John's heart would have put a whole new spin on the thought of Darth Vader wanting people not to be oppressed, even though his role is very oppressive in all the movies. So, but
it is.
it is. But you, Sean, totally hit the nail on the head for me, because that's how I see Juneteenth coming and being relevant today, and getting us over this hump that has been our history. And so it's got to be used as a stepping stone, a bridge to allow people to talk about what has affected us, right? And so while having a national holiday about the freedom, you get to ask the question, freedom from what? And so now I can say slavery without it being taboo. And now we can talk about that drop in the pool of life and the ripple effects over time that still affect us today. And but you got to remember, Juneteenth's freedom isn't just about race. Juneteenth's freedom is freedom in every area, freedom for everybody. And it's not just a Black thing. It's not just a Texas thing. And getting people to find themselves in the Juneteenth story, as we did here with Darth Vader and that movie, still allows folks to think outside the box of what Juneteenth, not just June, because freedom is 365, 24/7, right? And so what does freedom look like, and how are freedoms being oppressed, or how are people's freedoms being taken away inch by inch, or the apathy of thinking there's no change, that can happen. So freedom and Juneteenth it was a great dialogue there. I loved it.
Thank you, Dion. Appreciate you being here and what you stand for, represent, as well as your family, grandmother, and thank you for that. And final, Dion, how was your time today on Quintus McDonald's Heart of Influence?
Well, my time has been enlightening. It's so good to be connected with others, to find others who think like me, right? And share a passion for humanity, because at the end of the day, that's really what Juneteenth is. It's about the human dignity of everybody. And I like the fact that so many folks on the podcast today have other people in mind. It's not about, how I can, get my next set of millions, right? It's about how to help a hurting humanity. And I've enjoyed the time here.
Thank you. And thank you, Dion, for being here, for all that you shared. Really beautiful job. Thank you. Anthony, thank you for being here as well. Thank you for being in the participant seat.
Thank
Great,
you.
sir. Anthony, how was your time today on Quintus McDonald's Heart of Influence?
My time was good. I enjoyed, listening to not only my part, but listening to other people's part of how you influenced and initiated Han Solo, and everybody else with Juneteenth, and how I'm sitting there listening at that and how it resonated, and I understood it. I was like, wait a minute, we go from Han Solo to Juneteenth, and I recognized how you put all that together, and I was like, wow, I understand this, what he's talking about, so it was great. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Anthony. And Anthony, could I share something for like 30 seconds that is present for my heart?
And then, Sean, I got to jump to the green
Please.
room for the next show. So you're good?
Rita, we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here, Quintus. Phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And I'll see you all later.
All right, sis.
And so, in that moment with John and, seeing, not seeing, like, here's the truth. If I had a nickel for every time somebody told me I don't look blind, I think I'd have 1,000,000 nickels, right? And it happens all the time. And the reality is, and Malcolm Gladwell, who's an incredible author, American man, in his book Blink, talked about the split-second decision-making that people make. And here, in Unblinded, I look to deal in truth. And the truth is that I told somebody at Aunt Annie's when I was holding my daughter yesterday on the way down the beach, hey, I'm just blind, I can't see. She started yelling. Like, not yelling mean. She's like, okay, so would you like a salted pretzel? Like, and I have total empathy. The level of ignorance and challenge that we face for me,
Yes.
everybody, is just profound and continuous. And in addition, people make judgments. You say you're an NFL football player, people draw conclusions. I was the captain of the Columbia University baseball team, and I can't tell you how many times I was told I didn't belong in that school by people. People didn't, Tennessee, Penn State, these are places people love athletics by and large. Columbia, you're an athlete and people didn't like you. They thought you got into that school for, without having the grades they had, and they were right. I did. I didn't have their grades. I was a great baseball player. That's how I got in. So we face these institutional challenges that if you're Black or you're a white male, you're an NFL football player, or, you say you like President Biden, like, people make instantaneous conclusions. And what I've come to believe is that I have the opportunity to battle back out and through those conclusions. But someday, maybe, we're not going to face those things. I'm not going to hear, you don't look like a blind man. I'm not going to have people start yelling because they think I'm blind and they think blind equals deaf and all kinds of wacky things that happen. But I don't think it's going to change any of our lifetimes. I wish it was different. I wish God could wave a magic wand. And for all of us, the reason we do this show is to empower people, not only with inspiration, but a how to. Like, in Blind, it's about the how to. Like, how do you take the fact that very few Black people get capital from venture capital? How do we change that? Very few women get capital from venture capital. How do we change that? And I believe the only way we're going to change that in the short run is through skill, while we're honoring that long arc of justice that Dr. King talks about. So just a couple of quick shares, thoughts for everybody. Anthony, again, thank you for being here. Anything you want to share on final?
No, I just appreciate being here, and I hope this is not the only show that I'm able to be on. Even if I come on as a listener, I appreciate what I learned, and it's showing me growth on things that I have to do with my company and opportunities.
Well, thank you. And there's a lot more to talk about, Anthony, but it's been an honor to get to know you. And clearly anybody that makes it to any professional sport, let alone the NFL, has a deep level of mastery inside their being. And thank you for being here and appreciate you. Ty, thank you for being here today. Appreciate everything. Thanks for jumping in the role play. That's not an easy place to be. You did it with courage. And thank you for doing it. And Ty, please, your final on how was your experience today on Quintus McDonald's Heart of Influence, Ty?
It was absolutely great. Just the fact that she was like reset, start over. So even though I was in my freeze frame, it's not the first time. Kind of state of mind, at least able to make me feel comfortable enough to shake that, and then just to meet all of you guys and just hear more about you, what other people are doing. It's just inspiring. It's just inspiring. So grateful to be here.
Great job, Ty. Thank you. John, thank you, brother, for being on the Heart of Influence today, for jumping in that role play with Darth Vader, even if you never saw Star Wars, all the beautiful things. John, how was your experience today on Quintus McDonald's Heart of Influence?
It was good. And Sean, thank you. I appreciate everything you did today. And Quintus, brother, thank you so much for having me on. I do appreciate it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed hearing from everybody, but I particularly enjoy what Dion had to say, because I didn't realize that Juneteenth was not only about slavery. I didn't realize that. And I reach out to me, Dion. I'd like to be able to serve in some way at all, because I think we need to bring these racial barriers down. And I pay attention to it, and I'm still lost on certain things and unsure how to help. So I appreciated that, and I really enjoyed meeting everybody.
Thank you, John. Wonderful
And
job.
so, Sean, how do I get in contact with John?
Yeah, Dion, Quintus is going to connect everybody up.
Okay. All right.
So, Quintus has got it, Dion. Thank you so much. And of course, the man that was at cause in the matter of bringing us all together here today, leader, heart, integrity, visionary, Quintus McDonald, your final on your Quintus McDonald Community Leaders Heart of Influence for today.
Final. I'm just very, very grateful, truly grateful. I want everyone to please say a prayer for Chris, our fifth person. He became ill and needed to remove himself. So let's be prayerful for Chris. But I'm just truly grateful. Only God can really do this, and He uses me to bring you beautiful people together, and I'm thrilled about being that servant. So there's so much more, so very much more, and you have been sent an email with everyone's contact information. You've been sent a text message. Use those. Talk to one another. Grow together exponentially here with us at Unblinded. That's what this is all about.
Well, thank you, Quintus. Definitely connect up. Thank you, sir. And there's 3 quick free gifts. The first is this Wednesday. We get together with a whole bunch of extraordinary people, do some training. You're welcome to be there. There'll be 80, 90, 100 people there. Drop into some groups. You'll meet some extraordinary people. Second, we have our group influence book. How do you communicate with the inspiration of Martin Luther King? Open listening, like Robin Williams and Willy Wonka, with a little bit of fun energy. Have the heart of the deepest people like Oprah Winfrey and other impact players like that, and the leadership, drive, and certainty of coaches, trainers like Vince Lombardi. How do you put all that stuff together to create Yes in the World? That's that group influence book. And we have a business acceleration session for you. If you've ever had, you accept this session, if you've ever had a better 1 hour to accelerate your business and focus on like how to do it, please let me know, because I want to go find the person who delivered that hour. It is the greatest hour you can have. That's the standard and commitment until somebody tells me they ever had a better hour. And I have not heard that yet. So that's there for you as our gift as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Quintus. I end every show by saying this. I may be physically blind, but I'm quite certain that the powers of acceleration that sit right in front of us, all of us, they're just right there. But at some level, Quintus, everybody, at some level, we are all blind and just learning.
Just learning to see.
Thanks, brother.
Amen.
Let's go get them.
Amen.
God bless you all.
Oh, thank you.
Bless you all.
Thank you.
Miss
Appreciate-
Dion, use that information. Use that
Yes, sir.
information. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
God
Let's
bless you
spread the
all.
love, guys. Love you all.
Peace and
Bye-bye.
blessings.
Thank you guys. Bye bye. I'll be